Well, in the meantime, I wasn't at the game with you guys, but you can almost feel there's a renewed energy at the stadium. There's a renewed energy with the Oakland Raiders franchise. We know they're trending up. How high up are they trending? How steep is that arrow pointing?
Don't know yet. They're 2-3. I mean, that's I guess that's the thing about when you don't win since 2002, that you're 2-3 and people are excited. They're in games. They're competitive. I think they're going to win. They're better coached than they have been, in recent years, and they're still going to win some more games this year. So they are better. I mean, the key is that the first time they really have some foundation pieces, and the quarterback, in Mari Cooper, and Khalil Mack, and Dave Jackson, the left guard, who's really close to an all-pro level in his second year. So there's some pieces there that haven't been there. So that's the hope. And the young guys are playing pretty well already. So, I mean, weeks 2 and 3, the Raiders' offense is great. And, especially week 3 in Cleveland, Carr, Cooper, and Latavius Murray, the running back, were all dynamic. And it's like, wow, what are these guys? What can these guys be? And they've taken a step back a little bit in the last 2 weeks, but it's all part of the growing process. So, yeah, I don't know if we're going to see the Raiders be a playoff contender this year, but there's room for improvement, and the future, there is some hope for the future finally. And I mean, if there's a complaint about the Raiders, during the last several years, they were just stuck in being bad, and they weren't making any improvements. They weren't taking any step forwards despite having all these high draft picks. Well, they're just finally starting to see some fruit of their struggles.
Bill, your specialty is the AFC West and the Raiders, but they're not going to be a playoff team this year.
No.
There's too many good other teams in other divisions. But that leads me into the question, and I wonder, I'm given to hyperbole and have been since you've known me, but the Broncos, to me, have clinched this division. Raiders got to come here. The Chiefs got to come here. The Chiefs got no Jamal Charles. The Raiders aren't going to come in here and beat the Broncos. And San Diego's a 500 team, basically. The Broncos have clinched this division. I mean, even when teams like the Chargers and the Chiefs were better, they couldn't beat the Broncos. The Broncos now won, 87 straight road games in the division. So, isn't it odd we're sitting here talking about how bad the Broncos' offense is, but they basically, before the end of October, can realistically clinch the division.
It's kind of the cruelty of a 16-game schedule. I mean, that's the thing. Raider fans are like, hey, we almost beat the Broncos. I mean, okay, cool. But here's the facts. They're 5-0, you're 2-3, you're 3 behind them already. And, Jack Del Rio and his players go around all the time and say, our goal is to win the AFC West. And that's what it should be. But, if we're talking baseball season right now and there's 11 games to go and you're 3 out, you're not feeling so good. So, yeah. And I realize that everybody, gets, we always got to worry about the bad more than enjoy the good. But Bronco fans should really take time to enjoy that defense because it really is special. It's the reason why they won yesterday. It's really the reason why they're 5-0, and they're going to take a long ride. If the offense could figure it out, they could be in something. But yeah, this defense is the real deal.
Well, Bill, as you know, the expectations are really high here, and there's a lot of grumbling despite the 5-0 record. You can only imagine.
What would be the case if it was totally flipped and the offense was, like it was a couple years ago, and the defense was struggling, but they were still 5-0 despite the defense? I don't think as many people would be worried, were they?
They weren't 2 years ago.
No.
And the defense wasn't very good. It's why it's kind of a dichotomy that people are going, oh, it's the end of the world. We're going to fall off the end of the earth. And so it's amazing.
Good defense doesn't get enough credit, I don't think, and that's across the board.
Yeah, you're right, because offense is more exciting. Hey, Bill, thanks a lot. And we'll talk to you later in the season when the Raiders play the Broncos again, if that's all right with you.
We'll talk to you whenever we want to.